Hello, Potato. For the last number of years, there has been a particular Lego kit or series or license, however you want to put it, that I've really wanted to see them create. And I mean, going back to seeing people create custom kits back when Lego Ideas was still Lego Kuso, whatever it was called back then. And, you know, I never thought it was going to happen until a few years ago when Disney released the Magic Kingdom castle. I thought, well, if we're doing this, and then they followed up, I think, a year or two later with the railroad, maybe we could see it. Maybe we could see them produce other things from Disneyland and the Magic Kingdom as Lego kits. And of course, you can probably guess what the one particular set I would like to see would be. Well, apparently the Happy Haunts at Lego have started to feel my sympathetic vibrations, and the kit I want has started to materialize. It's not exactly the kit I wanted, but you know what? I will take it for a start, and that is kit 40521, the Mini Disney The Haunted Mansion. I guess I shouldn't put the word "the" in front of it. Mini Disney The Haunted Mansion. Yep, it is done in a small scale, kind of like that 50th anniversary Disney castle, the Magic Kingdom castle they released. Was it last year? I think it was maybe last year now. It was a while ago in any case. We did a video on that back when it first came out. And this just came out on August the 1st, you know, just in time for autumn and Halloween. And not that I want them to delay it any. They released like 100 and something kits back on the 1st. So I'm guessing maybe next month there won't be so many. Last year it was like September 1st. They released the big 100 plus kits. This year I'm guessing maybe not so many on there. And of course they released it just in time for them to raise all the prices on their Lego kits. But that's fine. I mean, everything is going up. You just have to accept that and maybe just, you know, be a little more choosy in your kits. But naturally, no matter what, I was going to buy this. If they'd released a $300 large version of it, I'd have bought that too. But yeah, it's Lego Haunted Mansion. It is, of course, the real one, the Anaheim Mansion, not Florida. And it comes with a little cast member minifigure, which is pretty unique. It would have been nice if they'd included both a male and female cast member, but, you know, maybe in the future. Now, one thing interesting on this compared to that Magic Kingdom castle they did for the 50th anniversary of the Magic Kingdom, or Disney World, is that this one's actually got like a little diorama thing going inside, and the castle didn't. The castle was just the castle in, you know, 360 degrees. But now I guess that's probably because you see the castle from 360 degrees. Well, yeah, all the way around. I'm thinking like in third dimension, but no, all the way around you do see it. And of course, the Haunted Mansion, you don't actually see the backside because it faces the back of the park. So I mean, there's not much to see there. So instead, it looks like we're going to have a little representation of the ballroom scene. I think that would be the spirit blowing out the cake there, and that would be where you ride through in a little doom buggy. Now, of course, there aren't going to be any massive details in there. I think we have some little pictures to look at. But, I mean, they're done with microfigures. You can't expect a whole lot. And let's face it, it's the front that I am admittedly the most interested in. It's been a while since I've done a Lego kit on this channel. It's been since spring, certainly. I haven't done any all summer long. So, of course, today we're going to end that rush, or that dry spell. I don't know why I said rush. I think I was thinking run. And put together this. It is 680 pieces, almost entirely, I'm sure, fiddly bits. A good portion of these little window pieces. But yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of little fiddly bits in this one. And hopefully no stickers. Hopefully the paintings in there are printed pieces, because it looks like they're 1x2s. So we've got one of my favorite things, the folded up Lego manual. I always love it when they jam them in there bent double, instead of sliding them in there flat and then maybe slide the bags on top of them. And no, they couldn't print those 1x2 pieces. Those are all stickers. Who do we have here? We have Leota. We have, is that the groundskeeper? I'm not sure who that is. I think that might be the groundskeeper. Then we have Gus, Ezra, and Phineas. No Hatbox. No Hatbox, and surprisingly no Constance. They put Constance in everything. And yeah, as I was expecting, it looks like we're predominantly dealing with little fiddly bits here, but that's what I expected. How many bags do we have? Of course, we have more bags than we have parts. There's part of 1, 4, 3, another 4, another 3. So it's like 4 is probably where it's going to be. 2, and another 4. So let's kind of just stage them off all out of the way. And we'll start with 1, which has... Oh, the butler has a tail on his jacket there, doesn't he? That's why. Okay. Like, why do we have one of these? Those generally contain either like dresses or capes or string. And I didn't know why that would be on this case, but I do see that he does have the tails on his jacket. So that's probably what that's going to end up being. We have no QR code on the front here. That's interesting. There's one on the back, but I think that's for feedback. I guess you could feedback as to why there isn't a QR code for the instructions. We have words. We have words. Lots of words. Well, actually, most of them are not in English, so let's see if I can read them correctly. Disneyland Park Haunted Mansion. Constructed in 1963 and opened to daring guests in 1969, the Disneyland Park Haunted Mansion stands as a majestic manor in New Orleans Square. The spectral residents are dead serious about keeping its exterior a spotless, ghostly white, with elegant wrought-iron railings serving as an accent piece. The weather vane on the roof is a stately sailing vessel. Envisioned initially as a haunted house at the end of Main Street, USA, the mansion eventually transformed into a retirement home for ghosts, which promised creaking doors and creaking floors to all prospective tenants. Excited spirits relocated from haunted houses all over the world to make their final rest, with 999 happy haunts currently in residence. But there's always room for 1,000. The brave souls who make their way past the foyer will find a place filled with wall-to-wall creeps, endless hallways, stretching rooms, and many other ghoulish delights. A mysterious ghost host offers up a spirited tour to guests as they explore transporting them in a doom buggy through the mansion and into the gloomy graveyard beyond. Just beware of hitchhiking ghosts you find along the way, or one of them may follow you home. You know, that would have been a nice piece. A piece of the Haunted Mansion plaque. That is missing. That's noticeably absent. Of course, I hadn't noticed it until I saw the picture of it in the book, so maybe it's not that noticeable. But yeah, there's no QR code for this one. I find that weird. I mean, I suppose you can go to the LEGO site and there'll be a link on there to go to the instructions. I'm just surprised it's not included in here. How many steps are we looking at here? 121 steps for our 680 pieces. So I guess we got to start with number 1, which is opening up that first bag, which means that's enough of me talking, and it's time to get into the fast forward. And we are done. Kit 40521, Mini Disney The Haunted Mansion. And oh my goodness, were there so many little pieces, one by one, so many one by ones, and a bunch of one by twos. Yeah, a lot of fine work there, and a lot of little one by ones left over to go into the spare parts bin after they probably sit here off to the side on the table for the next 2 or 3 months. So, looking at it, I'm a little surprised that these were made like with those battleship peg pieces. I kind of thought they would just do these as, because don't they have like little column pieces that look kind of, I guess maybe they aren't as long as that, so that's probably why. But yeah, here we go. We have them all finished up. Let's look at our little butler first, our cast member. And only one face, and it is a super cheerful one that definitely says to please drag your body to the dead center of the room. And then the mansion itself, of course, over here is, they don't have the little birdhouse. There's like a little birdhouse over here on the real mansion, but, I mean, there's only so much detail you can do. There's a lot, I think, to kind of get the look here, and it's kind of impressive. You see it a lot more in the last few years. You put the pieces in sideways, which of course eventually means if you push on them, they don't stay in spot properly. But a lot of these like little sideways assemblies to give you those smaller windows. So you don't have to have like a 1 by 1 by 1 window. You can have just like a third of one window. We've got a lot of those. Pretty much all the walls on the mansion are made up that way. You can't see most of them because of the railings. They do block a lot of them, but on the side in particular you can see a lot of that assembly. And of course in here we have the ballroom scene, or at least the birthday party portion of the ballroom scene. Oh, I think I was supposed to put a little guy up here. That may be difficult now that it's all put together. Can I pop this off easily? Probably not. Oh, maybe. Maybe. No, definitely not. Well, let's see if we can't get a little guy in there anyway. If I pull that up, there we go. Yeah, totally forgot to put a little guy up on the balcony. And of course, with my giant rock biter hands, it is not super easy to work with such small pieces. Oh my goodness. That is just not being cooperative. There we go. Put you right in front of the groundskeeper there. All right. So I'm going to get this back on first, and then this on top of it. Oh, that sucks. There we go. There we go. Back to the, now we have a little guy up there. He's a little crooked, but I'm going to leave him that way because he'll just fall apart again. If he's checking out the painting of the groundskeeper, weirdly, the instructions don't have you put Ezra, Phineas, and Gus together. Ezra's up here. Phineas and Gus are down at the bottom with Madame Leota. I mean, obviously I could change that on my own, but for now at least, we've put together the way instructions. Oh, and I've knocked the fire off of the cake. Of course I did. That didn't really stay on there super well to start with. I think for now, we're just going to leave it off, and I will fix it after I am done recording this, because it's going to require taking a fair amount of this apart. But yeah, I think it's a very nice likeness. I'm definitely pleased with it. Would I like something bigger? Yes, but who knows? Maybe this will be the beginning of something greater. Either a minifigure scale mansion, which I would love. I don't know how many scenes they'll fit inside of it, since the building is, of course, well smaller than the ride itself. Or alternately, like they've had with those Star Wars kits earlier in the year, some dioramas. I would buy a diorama of like the ballroom scene, of Leota's parlor, of Hatchaway's attic, with a Hatbox, of course. But yeah, I would buy any and pretty much all of those. So, you know, if you're listening, Disney, you know, I would be happy to add some more Happy Haunts to my collection. There was one weird part of the instructions, and I didn't show it on the camera. There's a part where basically like a step disappears. So I think it's here, it's step 5 that has you put in these pieces. Maybe it was step 5. Yeah, so step 5, you're putting in that brown and blue piece, and then on step 6, they've disappeared. Yeah, at first I thought I'd skipped a step, and it took me a second to realize that, no, they just messed up the instructions. But that's a minor thing. It's the only thing that I caught. There may be other errors in there, but that's the only one that I actually caught. And I have that on, there we go. Straighten that up, face forward. Yeah, it's nice. It's very cute. It's going to replace something on the shelf. I think after a couple years, I think Madame Leota is going to come down, and the mansion itself will take her place. It's very nice. Obviously not a play with kit. This is a display kit. This is something you're going to put up on a shelf or on a table or part of your Halloween decoration, or just as part of your little shrine to Walt Disney's The Haunted Mansion. But there's nothing much else to say about it. It's cute, it's tiny, it's fairly well together. Only spots I feel like are going to fall apart easily are right here. These 1x2s are only held in place by one stud because they're over these other angle pieces. So I feel like those could be knocked off just by a casual brush fairly easily, but the rest of it I feel is pretty sturdily put together. I mean, it's just basically a block of bricks. So I think back here you have some room for things to fall apart. Obviously I've already knocked out a couple things, but I think for most people that's just going to go against a wall like that. You're never going to see that part. But I'm happy with it. I'm glad we finally have some Lego The Haunted Mansion. Finally a combination of two of my my big collector-y things. I didn't put this back in. It's all to come back apart. But I will fix it off camera. But I definitely do want to see Lego go bigger. Hopefully this set sells well so that we can get some more Haunted Mansions. Maybe some tie-ins to the movie. Who knows? I wouldn't say no, because I mean, even if the movie's awful, doesn't mean the kits will be bad. I mean, the Eddie Murphy movie was awful, but the soundtrack was pretty good. But I think that'll wrap this up. We've done our first Lego build of the summer, our first Lego build in at least 3 or 4 months. And with all the new kits being released, probably going to be looking at a few more builds in the future. There's definitely some sets I want to get and put together and then find somewhere to display them. But we'll wrap up today. I hope you found this all interesting or entertaining. If you did, go ahead and give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, by which point I will probably have finally fixed these parts.